John chapter 2. And in the third day came to be a wedding in Cana, a place of the Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. But also Jesus and his learning ones were invitingly called to the wedding. And having lack of wine, the mother of Jesus says to him, "Wine is not there any more." Jesus says to her, "What is between me and you, woman? Not yet has my hour arrived." Thereupon says his mother to the servants, "What as it were he says to you, that do." But there were 6 stony water jugs according to the cleansing custom of the Jews, up each having room for 2 or 3 measuring units. And Jesus says to them, "Lade the water jugs with water," and they laded them till to the top. And he says to them, "Draw now and bring it to the ark person of the 3-day banquet." But they brought it. But as the ark person of the 3-day banquet tasted the water having been made to become wine, and had not perceived from where this wine is, but the servants had perceived it, those having drawn the water, the ark person of the 3-day banquet let resound a call to the bridegroom, and says, every human sets forth the ideal wine before, and when as it were they become intoxicated, the lesser. But you have guarded the ideal wine till now. This the origin beginning of the signs Jesus did in Cana of Galilee, and he revealed the glory and his learning one's faith into him. After this he descended into Capernaum, he and his mother and his brothers. And there they abode not many days. But the Passover of the Jews was near, and Jesus stepped up into Jerusalem. And he found those selling in the consecrated site, also the sheep and cows and doves, and the money changers having seat there. Then he made a whip out of rope, and drove them all out of the consecrated site, the sheep and the cows and the exchange money of the brokers. He poured out and overturned down the tables. And to those selling the doves he said, "Lift these from thence. Do not make the dwelling of my Father to a dwelling site of trading business." Then his learning ones were reminded of that having been written, "The zeal concerning your dwelling site will down eat me." Hence the Jews answered and said to him, "What kind of sign do you show us that you are allowed to do this?" Then Jesus answered and said to them, "Loosen this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up." Hence the Jews said, "In 46 years this temple was well built, and you say in 3 days you will raise it up?" But that one said this concerning the temple of the body. Hence when he was awakened out of the died ones, his learning ones were reminded that he said this, and they faithed the writ and the words which Jesus said. But when he was in the city of Jerusalem, in the time of the Passover, in the time of the feast, many faithed into his name as beholding the signs which he did. But he, Jesus, not in faith he himself to them, because he knew them all, and since he had not the need that someone testify concerning human, for he knew what was in the human.